Anyway, you know what's actually important to talk about? The Xanderhal's PayPal festival. And I'm not just going to yell at him. I mean, it's funny. He doesn't deserve it, but it's funny. And it's a good opportunity to talk about financial advice in case some of you are maybe like 14-year-olds, which, knowing the audience of politics streamers, you may very well be. So, like, the story is apparently Xanderhal got hacked on his PayPal account, right? So someone hacked his PayPal and siphoned all the money out of it into their Steam account. RIP, all my money. And it's like, okay. So you'd think, like, if that happened, it must be that he has a card linked to his PayPal, like a debit card or a credit card, and they were using that, right? It's got to be it. But we scroll down. Shouldn't your bank be able to intervene in situations like this? Xanderhal, I don't use a bank. I use PayPal. You have all your money in a PayPal account? I have never heard of anything like that ever in my life. PayPal as an institution is known for like arbitrarily banning people and shit like that with no recourse whatsoever, no way to hold them accountable. Most payment services are bad, but like PayPal is one of the worst. The only reason why people have to use it is because it has such a wide reach and it's so widely used. If you keep your money in PayPal, it's not the hacking that's the problem, though it is kind of a problem. And I'll explain why soon. It's so stupid. You just want to lose all your shit, man. They could freeze your money at any moment with no recourse. It's a joke. That actually happened to me. Like, there was one time where like I had to like verify my identity to PayPal by going down to the fucking post office and having like a postal worker verify my documents or something. It was insane. And they like fucking froze like $1,000 of mine because of that. After that, I was like, okay, any time I have money in PayPal, even if it's a cent, it's going straight to my fucking bank account. I'm not keeping anything in PayPal at all. That's how you should use these services. You should assume, because of the fact that they don't have to abide by the same laws that banks do regarding personal banking, that they have high potential to fuck you over. And that relates to hacking too. Because if your card like gets stolen or hijacked or something, your bank will refund you. Well, in most countries at least. It varies country per country. Your bank will refund you everything. They will take the loss for you. It doesn't matter. Unless it's like very blatantly your fault, they'll take the loss for you. They're obligated to do so in most countries. And that's not out of the goodness of their heart, just because banks do take risks, but banks are some of the most highly regulated institutions in the world in terms of, not regulated, I mean enforce. Like, laws are the most enforced in banks. It's very easy to enforce laws in banks because they're so digitized and they're so scrutinized. So banks will take risks in big ways, like with billions of dollars. They won't take risk of breaking the law with your personal account. They will treat your personal account basically to the letter of the law most of the time. What that means is that they're obligated to help you out if you get hacked or something. So your money in a bank account is significantly safer than it is in any of these payment services who have to abide by the same laws and are not scrutinized to anywhere near the same level. Because a bank isn't going to risk violating the law for your little personal account with $5,000 in it. But they might, try to launder money for a billionaire or something. But for you, like, they don't give a shit. They're not going to risk getting in trouble over your $5,000, okay? Your money is generally pretty safe in a bank, generally speaking. Sometimes not, as any Argentine will tell you. Sometimes not. But if you live in a country with a fairly stable, reliable currency, your money is a lot safer in a bank. It's probably safest in cash under your bed, but there's also risk towards that, and it's also very inconvenient. Having a bank is the next best thing. So, like, the way that you should use these payment services, this is financial advice that anyone who makes money off the internet needs to know. Payoneer, PayPal, Mercado Libre, whatever else there is, you need to send your money from them straight to your bank account. You should also probably have 2 bank accounts, at least, just in case something happens with one of them, and split your money between them. Credit unions operate as banks, basically. They give you debit cards, they give you accounts. It's very similar, so they're under the umbrella that I'm talking about here. And yeah, mattresses can't give you interest, but I mean, mattresses also can't freeze deposits in certain situations, which has happened in Argentina a few times. So it really depends on where you live. But yeah, the best thing to do is keep your money in a savings account that has the highest interest rate you can find in a bank with at least the least bad reputation you can find. If you get money in PayPal, you get money in any of those other services, you want to, as soon as possible, as economically as possible, get it to your bank account. This doesn't apply everywhere in the world, but it does apply to most first world countries, at least. This is just like general financial advice. I'm not saying this is a good system. I'm saying this is what you need to do. If you're young or something, you're just making money on the internet for the first time or whatever, using PayPal to sell some shit on eBay or whatever. When you get paid in PayPal, send it to your bank account, as long as you're not paying a flat fee every time. Obviously, if you're paying a flat fee every time, you might want to wait until you get a bit more to send it, but you don't use PayPal like a bank. That could have gone really bad for Xanderhal if PayPal just didn't want to engage with him. Luckily, it seems like he got his money back, but yeah, don't do that. Xanderhal is just a very funny guy. I mean, it's like a Xanderhal thing. Like, that's like a Xanderhal sitcom plot line. Like, what? Xanderhal? Yeah, I keep all my money in PayPal. You keep your money in PayPal? In PayPal? Yeah, what's wrong with that? It's worked out for me so far. I mean, that's where Google sends my money in the first place, right? Isn't that... What's wrong with that, man? And then the laugh track plays. Like the fucking Xanderhal Seinfeld episode, man. But yeah, that's my little bit of financial advice for my teenage viewers or people who might be like making money for themselves independent of their parents for the first time. Anyone who makes money on the internet needs to hear that advice. Banks are bad, but your money as an individual, small client is still safer with them than it is going to be in like a PayPal account or something like that. Much safer.